Okia or Mutata. But Mr. Speaker, but they are the biggest consumers of sugar. So he has a direct, and he has a farm in Bungoma that is a sugarcane farmer, a small-time sugarcane farmer. And Senator Okia, so that we form an inquiry, so that we can assist you, a very good friend called Sarbi. And I'm happy Sarbi is doing a good job in Kakamega and also to you. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I really appreciate the information. And because of the information, I want to send you the greetings of the people of Kakamega to the people of Nandi, especially Mosop. After we encourage them to grow sugarcane, every Thursday when they come to collect money at Butali Sugar Company, all our alcohol is sorted out, is finished, it is sold out, and the economy, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Argay, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker.
Can you give Chair Argay the mic? What's your point of order, Chair Argay? Give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, on the standing order on accuracy of facts, is it in order for the Senator Kalwale to impute improper motive against the great people of Nandi by saying we are consumers of alcohol, that whenever we go and collect money in Nigerian Putali Sugar Company, that my farmers end up taking alcohol? Is it in order? Mr. Speaker, can he apologize and withdraw? Mr. Speaker, most of us are Christians, Mr. Speaker, and Muslims, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, what in fact he should thank us. Mr. Speaker, Senator Kalwale should thank us, because apart from getting money, we also assist them with matrimonial duties, Mr. Speaker, and we have been able to leave seeds that when you go to Kakamega, they are now participating in athletics, courtesy of the fruits of our loins, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the Senator of Nandi was running ahead of me. I just said, because of the way they promote our economy, you go and greet them. And I'd only singled out one. Allow me to also say that it has also resulted in an increased number of our women getting married in Mosop, which is a good thing because you pay dowry. As to whether you are good at the nuptial responsibilities, that is an agreement between a man and wife, I have no idea. I therefore, Mr. Speaker, want to thank the House for allowing me this afternoon to make this point very clear. It is not a joke. Butali Sugar Company is an economy of 10 billion shillings a year in Kakamega. West Kenya is an economy of 24 billion shillings in Kakamega. And Mumias Sugar Company is an economy of 40 billion shillings in Kakamega. Anybody coming to play around with it, using the money of farmers to buy a few MCAs to start supporting Mr. Rai, is missing the point. Mr. Rai, I assure you from this floor that I'm going to protect you. Government will protect you to do your business in West Kenya. Please allow Sarbi to do his business in Mumias. There is no contradiction. I know you are unhappy because through the new law,
Senator Cheriot, what is your point of order?
Neighbors.
Mr. Speaker,
Neighbors.
I use this one. Mr. Speaker, because my good friend Senator Alwale appears to be fairly knowledgeable in this matter that he is raising, would he perhaps, for the understanding of the rest of us, help explain the intricacies that we are reading about this complex relationship that he's trying to describe? You can see actually he's vowing on one side of his mouth that he will protect Mr. Rai because he's a big investor in his own county, while on the other hand admonishing him not to interfere with the operations of Mumias. What I have read in the papers, and the good majority whip can help us appreciate, is that Mumias Sugar Company is under receivership. that the receiver manager has allowed the man is calling Sarai to run the sugar mill. But then they are insisting that because the other two businesses are unrelated to this one, they want to allow another player to run as well. That's what the media is reporting. Could he perhaps help us or even furnish the House with better information? Because we are all interested to see that town of Mumias grow to the levels that it used to be before Mumias Sugar Company went down. And it will be very exciting if actually that region and that industry was to come up. So I don't know, Senator Boni Halwale will be better placed to educate us and inform us of what exactly is happening.
Senator Boni Halwale, I hope you've understood the point of order raised by...
Yes.
If you could please clarify on that.
Thank you, Leader of Majority. That is exactly the point. The mischief by the newspaper was lack of clarity. But the clarity is as follows. There is enough cane for West Kenya to mill and support the 24 billion economy in its area. Enough for Butali Sugar to mill and support the 10 billion economy. And enough for Mumias to support 40 billion because Mumias also uses Busia farmers. So they have got a bigger catchment area. Now, to run the ethanol plant, dear Kenyans, to run the ethanol plant, which is in Mumias, to run the Ecogen plant, which is in Mumias, you need raw materials. And those raw materials come from Mumias, the mill, the same mill, Mumias Sugar Company. Mr. Speaker, the ethanol plant, why we want Rai of West Kenya to keep off, is that the ethanol plant is in the same compound and in the same machine of Mumias Sugar Mills. The power generating plant similarly is in the same. The gate is one, the compound is one, the complex that produces these three things is one. So it is an administrative nightmare for the receiver manager to imagine that you can bring in two warring companies who are actually brothers to then have an opportunity to kill each other. We don't want to see Indians killing each other over our machine. We want to see Indians working over our machine. And Mr. Speaker, sir, this point is very important. It is not a question of impulse. It's a question that has been subjected to a decision of the High Court. The High Court has found that Rai has no entry point into Mumias Sugar Company because he had claimed that earlier on he had bought the ethanol and the Ecogen plant. So when challenged in court to demonstrate that he bought, the only thing he could show was an agreement. Now, when challenged further, because an agreement can be drafted including on computers and River Road, when challenged to support that agreement with the actual payments that he made, he said he paid the money from Dubai and no evidence of bank transactions, and therefore the court ruled that Rai has no demonstrable interest in that company and therefore ordered that Sarbi of Mumias Sugar Company to now proceed unhindered. So the only thing remaining is for this House to raise its voice, is for the national government to raise its voice so that there is peace in Kakamega. Mr. Speaker, since this problem started around 10 days ago, we have had 4 demonstrations by farmers who are pushing what I'm saying, and one occasion by MCAs who were carrying twigs, but they were chased away like dogs. I don't think they will try again. So leader of my majority. It's now clear, and it's good for Kenya. You know why? Mumias Sugar Company in the last 12 months produced 100,000 tons. In the process, Kenya, which was being faced with a sugar deficit of 200,000 metric tons, Mumias by itself, 50% of that shortage, it cut it off. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the other factories then contributed to the extent that we have not imported sugar this time. So it is not something you can interfere with. And what's more, West Kenya Sugar,
Mumias Sugar Company, on Thursday, pays 194 million shillings to our farmers per week, every Thursday. You want me to keep quiet? So that people who receive 194 million shillings in Kakamega can be shortchanged due to the greed of Rai. We know Rai. Rai sneaked into Webuye Sugar Company, and Wakoli is here. Not Mumias Sugar. He sneaked into Pan Paper and cheated that he would revive Pan Paper. Today there is no Pan Paper. It is now being used. It was used shamefully last year for the fake fertilizer as storage. That is how Rai wants to do his business. The same Rai is the one who led to the collapse of the timber industry. You all remember, people of Washington Gishu, the Rai Ply fiasco. We can't allow business people of this type. Mr. Speaker, it's starting to look good. The president appears to understand sugarcane farming. We will keep on giving him information like I'm doing now for him to continue making decisions with clarity, because it is after I fed him with this kind of accurate information that he came up with the statement of Mambo Matatu. Yes, we were with you on that rally. And after he said Mambo Matatu, the same Rai quickly ran out of court, and this is how the sugar factory has become profitable. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Receive the greetings of the people of Kakamega. There's like a small boy. Mr. President, there is a young man in Kakamega who you allowed the privilege to be a minister despite his limitations. He is the one who is being used to cause confusion by Rai. Rai, please, Rashid is not our leader. Rashid Mohammed cannot be our leader. Rashid has no competence to lead Dr. Boni Khalwale. No. If farmers have a choice, they know who to ask. You cannot kill our industry. You are killing us. You are killing our women. You are killing our children. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Keroche Tabitha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this as opportunity. And I really want to congratulate Harware, Senator Harware, on how passionate you are on the industries that are in Kakamega. Congratulations. But I want to tell you, as you are becoming so passionate about the Mumias Sugar Company, also become so passionate and support also, but I know you support them, the companies that add valuation to your sugar cane, like Keroche breweries. Also, when you're talking about Mumias, you must also talk of the Keroche breweries. And you should be worried whether it's opened. You should be asking whether it's open and it's operating. Because the minute it starts operating, it will be taking your ethanol, the one ethanol you're talking about, to make the vodka. And you can imagine the vodka from Kenya, buy Kenya, build Kenya. I want to, I'm blessing the chair. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled and happy to see how passionate he is about the local industries. And I know it's not only the sugarcane industry, I know he's passionate about supporting the local industries and the local entrepreneurs. And it should be echoed, isn't it? And it should continue, all of us supporting the local industries. I want to support the statement read by Senator Sifuna, the Deputy Minority Whip, on the community health promoters. I agree with the Senator Harware that 5,000 is solely true to the community health persons and can be very true. But it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. 2,500 is always paid by the national government. 2,500 is paid by the county government. Mr. Speaker, sir, in Nakuru County, the community health promoters have not received their share, the 2,500 from the Nakuru County government for the last 6 months. You can imagine how they are struggling. They are dying because of poverty, because they are not being supported by the county government. I really, as there's somebody who said, I think it's Senator Kajwang, the way the Committee for Health have done a good job. I've seen them fight also when we were crying for the War Memorial Hospital to be reopened. I know the Committee for Health were in the forefront to ensure that that hospital was opened. And I want really to thank the senators who supported that with the Committee of Health, because that hospital now is opened. All what we are waiting for now is to start, the way it can start receiving the public. This can be open doors to the public, but at least it's open. The investors are in to ensure that it will be back to normal, and then the public of Nakuru and the surroundings can start now enjoying the services that are offered by the War Memorial Hospital. But this statement or this petition should be given to the Committee for Health, so that the first question is to ask why the county government of Nakuru has not paid the community health persons for the last 6 months. That is killing them, ensuring that they are demotivated even to do the work that they are given. And I know, I've been talking to them, they keep on begging even money even to buy little things for their family because they cannot afford. So Harwari was talking of 5,000. Our Nakuru County community health promoters have been receiving only the 2,500 from the national government, and I think it's a shame, because they are supposed to get the other 2,500 from the county government. So that will be one of the questions that we'll be asking the committee, to ensure that they call the county, our governor, to come here and to respond to them and to ask her why our community health promoters have not been paid for the last 6 months. That is killing them when they are still alive. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Senator Joe Nyotu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to also support the statement by the Senator for Nairobi regarding community health promoters, Mr. Speaker. And as I do this, I think I want to underscore the importance of health in for each one of us. Mr. Speaker, we can live without education. But, Mr. Speaker, we cannot live without good health. That is why matters health. And again, this being the house that oversees devolution, and the health being a devolved function, Mr. Speaker, we must be very keen on matters health. Mr. Speaker, these community health promoters are the people that reach our constituents in the farthest of our counties, Mr. Speaker. They are the people that teach our communities about health. They are the people that check on the nutrition of our people. They are the people, Mr. Speaker, that provide provide basic health education, Mr. Speaker, to our people. So these are servants that need, whose welfare need to be looked into with a lot of seriousness, Mr. Speaker. When you talk about 2,500 shillings paid by the county government and topped up by the national government, some 2,500, Mr. Speaker, needless to say, because it has been said, but this is very little money, especially considering the effect of inflation and the high cost of living that we continue witnessing in this country, Mr. Speaker. So I think it's important that when we enhance this particular stipend, both by the county and the national government. But the other sad thing is that little as it does not come at the right time, Mr. Speaker. I have had an opportunity to talk to CHPs in my county, and the county stipend comes. If it gets late, maybe 2-3 months. But the stipend or the top up by the national government, and Mr. Speaker, sometimes is delayed to over even 6 months. And this is something that we need to look at, even as we congratulate the government for having accepted to be topping up this particular stipend, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this particular group of people sometimes do not have the gadgets that they need. Because, of course, we are going digital in everything. Sometimes we'll meet them and they tell you they do not even have batteries for their gadgets, Mr. Speaker. And I think we need to call upon all the county governments, 47 of them, that they should not only pay the stipend of 2,500 shillings per month in time, if they will not enhance it, but they should also provide the important gadgets that this particular group of people or group of workers use in their day-to-day business, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, I think we should also propose, and when the committee sits down to look into this, I've been a member of the Health Committee, but, Mr. Speaker, of course, because of political expediency, I believe I'll not continue being member in that particular committee. We have been very keen on this matter as a committee, Mr. Speaker. And one of the things that we should also look into is how we can train these community health promoters, Mr. Speaker, in order for them to even be more equipped with knowledge in matters health, Mr. Speaker. And once, if and when, then we train them, we should be able to enhance their stipend, if not pay them a salary. Mr. Speaker, I think I don't have your protection. I think I'm talking to myself. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to submit that this is a statement that needs to be supported by all of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And I believe that when the Committee on Health sits, it will take this matter very seriously and give it the priority that it needs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, we have now received the supplementary order paper and will now move to order number 6. Clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I request for your permission to do all the notices of motion because I have 4 of them.
Yes.
Thank you. The first notice of motion is approval of senators to serve in the Procedures and Rules Committee, that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 13th of October 2022, constituting the select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Orders number 191, 2, D and 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Procedure and Rules Committee, in addition to senators specified in Standing Order number 191, 2, A, B, and C. Number 1, Mohammed Abbas Sheikh. 2, Senator Joe Nyotu. 3, Senator Betts Siengo. The second notice of motion, Mr. Speaker, is approval of senators to serve in the Powers and Privileges Committee, that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 13th of October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(2) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privilege Act and Standing Order 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Committees on Powers and Privilege, in addition to the Speaker of the Senate, who pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(1) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privilege Act shall be the chairperson of the committee. 1. Senator Alexander Mundigi. 2. Senator David Wakoli. 3. Senator Esther Okenyuri. 4. Senator Ome Omatinga. 5. Senator Shakila Abdallah. 6. Senator Dr. Oburu. The third notice of motion that I'm giving, Mr. Speaker, is approval of senators to serve in the standing committees of the Senate. That notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 13th October 2022, constituting the select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Order 199 and 228, the fourth schedule to standing orders, to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. A. Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. 1. David Wakoli. 2. Alexander Mundigi. 3. Alan Chesang. 4. Wahome Wamatinga. 5. Mohamed Abbas Sheikh. 6. Moses Kajwang. 7. Hezena Lemaletian. 8. Catherine Muma. 9. Senator Tomo Jenda. B. Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. 1. Senator Mohamed Abbas Sheikh. 2. Senator Peris Tobiko. 3. Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. 4. Senator Mohamed Chute. 5. Senator Karungo Dhangwa. 6. Senator Catherine Muma. 7. Senator Richard Onyonka. 8. Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga. 9. Senator Hezena. Education Committee. 1. Professor Margaret Kamar. 2. Seki Olekanar. 3. James Kamau Murango. 4. Nderitu John Kinywa. 5. John Methu. 6. Catherine Muma. 7. Jones Mwaruma. 8. Betty Montet. 9. Agnes Kavindu. D. Committee on Energy. Senator William Kisang, Danson Mungatana, Veronica Maina, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale, James Lomonen, Ledama Olekina, Edwin Sifuna, Oburu Oginga, Beatrice Ogola. E. Committee on Finance and Budget. 1. Senator Ali Roba. 2. Senator Tabitha Mutinda. 3. Senator Dr. Boni Halwale. 4. Senator Mariam Sheikh. 6. Senator Esther Okenyuri. 6. Senator Eddie Okech. 7. Senator Mohamed Mwinji Haji. 8. Senator Onyonka. 9. Senator Shakila Abdallah. F. Committee on Health. Senator Jackson Mandago. Senator Mariam Sheikh. Senator David Wakoli. Senator Tabitha Mutinda. Senator Joseph Githuku. Senator Justice Retired Stewart Mazayo. 7. Senator Ledama Olekina. 8. Senator Richard Onyonka. 9. Senator Hamida Kibwana. G. Information, Communication and Technology. The following senators: Alan Chesang, Miraj Abdillahi, William Kisang, Tabitha Keroche, Samson Cherargei, Hezena Lemaletian, Isa Boy Juma, Shakila Abdallah, Beatrice Ogola. H. Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee. The following senators: Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, Rafael Chimera, Karen Nyamu, Veronica Maina, Senator William Cheptumo, Okia Omtata, Professor Tomo Jenda, Senator Crystal Asige, and 9. Dan Maanzo. I. Labor and Social Welfare. 1. Senator Julius Mugor. 2. Senator Lenku. 3. Senator Gloria Oruoba. 4. Senator Alexander Mundigi. 5. Senator Miraj Abdullahi. 6. Senator Stewart Mazayo. 7. Senator Okongo Mogeni. 8. Senator Crystal Asige. 9. Senator Beth Siengo. J. The Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources. Senator Leleguel Tumbesi, William Cheptumo, Joe Nyutu, Mariam Sheikh, James Murango, Mohamed Mwinyi Haji, Beatrice Ogola, Abdul Haji, Jones Mwaruma. K. Senate Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunities and Regional Integration. Mohamed Chute, Joyce Korir, Mwenda Gataya, Gloria Oruoba, James Lomonen, Daniel Maanzo, Okia Omtata, Beth Siengo, and Betty Montet. L. Senate Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. 1. Adan Fatuma Dulo, Karen Nyamu, Julius Murgor, Tabitha Keroche, Joseph Githuku, Edwin Sifuna, Abdul Haji, Tomo Jenda, Okongo Omogeni. M. Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing. 1. Senator John Deritu Kinywa, Peris Tobiko, Mohamed Chute, Leleguel Tumbesi, Miraj Abdillahi, Enoch Wambua, Eddie Okech, Moses Kajwang, Crystal Asige. N. Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. 1. Senator Esther Okenyuri, Senator Jackson Mandago, Senator John Methu, Senator Karungo Thangwa, Senator George Mbugwa, Senator Godfrey Osotsi, Senator Boy Issa, Senator Amida Kibwana, and 9, Senator Okia Omtata. Last but not least, Mr. Speaker, is notice of motion on the approval of senators to serve in the County Public Accounts Committee, County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, and the Committee on Delegated Legislation. That notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on 19th October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Orders number 193, 194, 195, and 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the select committees of the Senate as follows. A. The County Public Accounts Committee. The following senators: Samson Cherargei, Mwenda Gataya, Adan Dulo Fatuma, Leleguel Tumbesi, Moses Kajwang, Jones Mwaruma, Edwin Sifuna, Okongo Omogeni, Enoch Wambua. E. The County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee. The following senators: Senator Peris Tobiko, Rafael Chimera, George Mbugwa, William Kisang, Godfrey Osotsi, Eddie Okech, Agnes Kavindu, Beth Siengo, Hamida Kibwana. F. These are the senators to serve on the Committee on Delegated Legislation. Senator Mwenda Gataya, Danson Mungatana, Gloria Oruoba, Joyce Korir, Julius Murgor, Mohamed Munyehaji Faki, Betty Montet, Daniel Maanzo, and Senator Boy Issa Juma. Mr. Speaker, I give notice.
Honorable Senators, I hope you've all received the supplementary order paper. We will now proceed to order number 8. Clerk, please call the order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of senators to serve in the Procedure and Rules Committee.
Majority Leader, please move.
The first ones are procedural. No, the first two. Mr. Speaker, given that we'll do 4 motions on these approvals, it is important to hear the thoughts of members. Apologies, let me first even move the motion, then I'll share my thoughts, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 13th of October 2022, the Senate Select Committees, the Senate resolves that pursuant to Standing Orders number 191, 2D, and 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Procedure and Rules Committee, in addition to senators specified in Standing Order number 191, 2A, B, and C. 1, Senator Mohamed Abbas. 2, Senator Joe Nyoto. 3, Senator Beth Mugo. The point I was trying to make, Mr. Speaker, is that there are 4 motions. The first 2 actually are on procedural committees, which is Powers and Privileges and Procedure and Rules Committee. If we could quickly dispense those ones, so that then we give members an opportunity to ventilate in the main motion, the third one, that carries members that are serving in the various standing committees, so that people can share their thoughts and how they think the committees can perform better. That will make this situation better. If I can get that concurrence from members, then it will help us to work on time, given that it's already 5 o'clock and we want our committees to begin working as early as tomorrow. So with those very main remarks, I beg to move and request Senator Retired Justice Stewart Mazayo to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, I beg to recommend to second.
I think as requested by the Majority Leader, I'll proceed to propose the question straight away. Honorable Senators, I propose the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Orders number 191-2D and 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Procedure and Rules Committee, in addition to senators specified in Standing Order 1912, A, B, and C. Senator Mohammed Abbas Sheikh, MP, Senator Joe Nyoto, MP, Senator Beth Siango, MP. As many as of that opinions, my apologies, Senators. There being no Senators wishing to contribute, I put the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Orders number 191-2D and 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Procedural and Rules Committee, in addition to senators specified in Standing Order 191-2A, B, and C. Senator Mohammed Sheikh Abbas, MP, Senator Joe Nyoto, MP, Senator Beth Siango, MP. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, approval of senators to serve in the Powers and Privileges Committee.
Majority Leader.
October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(2) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privilege Act and Standing Order 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Committees on Powers and Privileges, in addition to the Speaker of the Senate, who pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(i) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privilege Act shall be the chairperson of the committee. 1, Senator Alexander Mundigi. 2, Senator David Wakoli. 3, Senator Esther Okenyuri. 4, Senator Ome Omatinga. 5, Senator Shakila Abdallah. And 6, Senator Dr. Oburu Odinga. This is another one like the previous one, Mr. Speaker, where I'd request that we take it in the format of a procedural motion so that we get the chance to ventilate in the more substantive motion on the senators serving in the various standing committees. With those main remarks, Mr. Speaker, I request Senator Justice Matsayo, retired, to second.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th October 2022, constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(2) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act and Standing Order 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Committee on Powers and Privileges, in addition to the Speaker of the Senate, who pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(1) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act shall be the chairperson of the committee. Senator Alexander Mundingi, MP, Senator David Wakoli, MP, Senator Esther Okenyuri, MP, Senator Wahome Wamatinga, MP, Senator Shakila Abdallah, MP, Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga, MP. There being no senators wanting to contribute, I shall put the question. I put the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th October 2022, constituting select committees, The Senate resolves pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(2) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act and Standing Order 199 to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Committee on Powers and Privileges in addition to the Speaker of the Senate, who pursuant to Section 15(1)(b)(1) of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act shall be the chairperson of the committee. 1. Senator Alexander Mundingi MP, Senator David Wakoli MP, Senator Esther Okinyuri MP, Senator Wahome Wamatinga MP, Senator Shakila Abdallah MP, Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga MP. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. My apologies, senators. I've been sitting on this chair for too long. It's been a long day for me. Clerk, can we confirm that we have quorum? Okay. Honorable senators, I confirm that we actually do have quorum. Next order.
Order number 10, motion, approval of senators to serve in the standing committees of the Senate.
Majority Leader.
In the standing committees of the Senate, that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 13th of October 2022, constituting the select committees, the Senate resolves that pursuant to standing orders 199 and 228, the fourth schedule to the standing orders, to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. A, Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, which is 1, the following senators: David Wakoli, Alexander Mundigi, Alan Chesang, Wahome Wamatinga, Mohamed Abbas Sheikh, Moses Kajwang, Hezena Lemaletian, Catherine Muma, Professor Tom Ojenda. B, Devolution and Intergovernmental Relation, the following senators: Mohamed Abbas Sheikh, Peris Tobiko, Professor Margaret Kamar, Mohamed Chute, Karungo Thangwa, Catherine Muma, Richard Onyonka, Oburu Oginga, Hezena Lemaletian. C, Education Committee, Professor Margaret Kamar, Senator Seki Olekanar, James Kamau Murango, John Deritu Kinywa, John Methu, Catherine Muma, Jones Mwaruma, Betty Montet, Agnes Kavindu. D, the following senators: Senator William Kisang, Danson Mungatana, Veronica Maina, Dr. Boni Halwale, James Lomonen, Ledama Olekina, Edwin Sifuna, Oburu Oginga, Beatrice Ogola. E, Finance and Budget Committee, the following senators: Ali Roba, Ibrahim, Tabitha Mutinda, Dr. Boni Halwale, Mariam Sheikh Omar, Esther Okenyuri, Eddie Okech, Mohamed Munyehaji Faki, Richard Onyonka, Shakila Abdallah. Health Committee F, the following senators: Jackson Mandago, Mariam Sheikh Omar, David Wakoli, Tabitha Mutinda, Joseph Githuku, Stewart Mazayo, Ledama Olekina, Richard Onyonka, Hamida Kibwana. G, which is Information, Communication and Technology, the following senators: Senator Alan Chesang, Miraj Abdillahi, William Kisang, Tabitha Keroche, Samson Cherargei, Hezena Lemaletian, Isaboy Juma, Shakila Abdallah, Beatrice Ogola. H, Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee, Senators Hilary Sigei, Rafael Chimera, Karen Nyamu, Veronica Maina, William Cheptumo, Okia Omtata, Tom Ojenda, Kristo Lasige, Daniel Maanzo. I, Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, the following senators: Julius Murgor, Lenku Olekanar, Gloria Orwoba, Alexander Mundigi, Miraj Abdullahi, Stewart Mazayo, Okongo Mogeni, Kristo Lasige, Beth Siengo. J, Land, Environment and Natural Resources, the following senators: Leleguel Tumbesi, William Cheptumo, Joe Nyutu, Mariam Sheikh, James Murango, Mohamed Munye Haji Faki, Beatrice Ogola, Abdul Haji, Jones Mwaruma. K. Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunities and Regional Integration. 1. Senator Mohamed Chute. 2. Senator Joyce Korir. 3. Senator Mwenda Gataya. 4. Gloria Ruoba. 5. James Lomonen, Daniel Maanzo, Okio Mtata, Beth Siengo, Betty Montet. L. National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. The following senators: Adan Fatuma Dulo, Karen Nyamu, Julius Murgor, Tabitha Keroche, Joseph Githuku, Edwin Sifuna, Abdul Haji, Tom Ojienda, Okongo Mogeni. M. Roads, Transportation and Housing. The following senators: John Deritu Kinywa, Peris Tobiko, Mohamed Chute, Leleguel Tumbes, Miraj Abdullahi, Enoch Wambua, Eddie Okech, Moses Kajwang, Senator Crystal Asige. N. Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. 1. Senator Esther Okenyuri. The following senators: Esther Okenyuri, Jackson Mandago, John Methu, Karungo Thangwa, George Mbugwa, Godfrey Osotsi, Boy Isa Juma, Hamida Kibwana, Okia Omtata. Mr. Speaker, it's now been 2 years and a few months since this fourth Senate commenced, and we have taken time to assess the performance of all our committees and the individual senators. There is no better chance than this particular time, Mr. Speaker, to grant the House the opportunity to evaluate and consider the various competence, regional balance, party diversity, so many things. A very difficult job, Mr. Speaker, of trying to balance the array of talent that we have in this House, Mr. Speaker. If there is a day, Mr. Speaker, that I feel completely stressed, sorry to say so, Mr. Speaker, is a day such as this. Because almost any senator can serve in any committee and perform as well. But, Mr. Speaker, we must also be cognizant of the fact that we are gifted and abled differently. And there are areas where people excel and other areas where, for one reason or the other, Mr. Speaker, you are valued to be better placed elsewhere, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, after consultation with the leadership of the House, together with colleague leaders from the other side of the aisle, Mr. Speaker, we have come up with this proposal to the House and are urging and seeking that the House do agree and support that we make these changes so that the committees can begin their work in earnest from tomorrow and the days thereafter, because this is a busy time, Mr. Speaker. We have the budget policy statement that we need to consider and so many other things that this House will be doing. There are only two things that I want to say. We must guard our integrity as a House, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say that we are deeply concerned as Senate Business Committee by certain accusations that continue to be leveled against maybe practices in the Senate which we cannot put our hands to. But we want to say that we shall be vigilant, Mr. Speaker, and that is why we have selected the members of the Powers and Privilege Committee and equally at SBC, where we shall keep keen attention to detail to ensure that our committees perform their duty in making sure that this House lives up to the expectation of Kenyans. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of attendance to committees. If you know that you don't have the time to attend a particular committee, I want to extend an olive branch that even after we pass this motion, please go to the office of the minority leader or the majority leader and request to be exempted from that particular committee. There is no need whatsoever, Mr. Speaker, for people to be listed as having been members in 1, 2, 3 committees while they know they don't have the time to serve in many other committees. People must appreciate that there is only so much that you can do as an individual, Mr. Speaker. As majority leader, for example, I know for a fact that given the demands of my office, both within and without the pressings of this parliament, it is not tenable for me to give maximum attention to the works of a committee, much as I wish to serve in some of the committees of this House. And therefore, for that reason, I have exempted myself from serving in any particular committee. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, you will find that there are members who, as a leadership, maybe we have felt that your competence will serve us better in a particular committee. But if you feel strongly about it that indeed you don't have the time and the opportunity to serve in that particular committee, we will avail the opportunity, Mr. Speaker, and I don't mind bringing another motion. We have done it many times before, Mr. Speaker, so that people can serve in committees where they feel they are comfortable to. Therefore, we shall be monitoring. Members, we are aware that by the time we were concluding last session, most committees were struggling for quorum. If a committee, Mr. Speaker, votes for 2 or 3 times because of absence of quorum, the better thing is to dissolve that committee and give other members an opportunity to serve there. Therefore, this is not a warning, it is not a threat, Mr. Speaker, but it is a fact that as SBC, we shall be checking on the attendance of committees, Mr. Speaker. There is a reason why registers are kept. There is no need to block spaces for other senators who want to serve in particular committees while you never have the time to attend that committee. If after 3 or 4 sessions we realize you have never showed up to a committee, the simple thing we'll do is to bring a motion to the House and request that you be exempted from that committee and allow other senators who are willing to serve in that particular committee. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the point that I'm trying to make is as SBC, Senate Business Committee, we shall be extremely vigilant alongside the liaison committee, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that our committees perform optimally and they live up to the demands of the Constitution on what the committees of the various houses should do. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, because I can see time is moving, I know maybe colleagues may want to say 1 or 2 things about this particular issue, I don't know, or they'd wish that we proceed as was the case in the previous 2 other motions, Mr. Speaker. I want to end it at that, Mr. Speaker, because I am aware that we still have actually another motion on the other committees that we are here to consider. And given that time is far much spent, Mr. Speaker, I don't think I need to say more than that. With those very many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and request the Leader of Minority, retired Justice Stewart Mazayo, to second. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante Mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, kwanza nataka kusema kwamba ilikuwa mtihani mkubwa sana kufikia hapa tulipofika hivi leo, kwa sababu kuchagua maseneta na kuwaweka katika hizi kamati ambazo tuko nazo ndani ya bunge la Senate si kazi rahisi. Kwa upande wa maseneta walio wachache, tumejaribu tunavyoweza ama inavyowezekana kuona kwamba kila tulemchagua ni seneta ambaye tunajua ni mkakamavu katika ile eneo ambalo tumempatia. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka kuunga tu mkono na kusema ya kwamba hawa maseneta wote ambao wameweza kuwekwa katika hii taarifa ya leo ni kwamba wana ujuzi, wanao taaluma, wanao akili na uwezo wa kutekeleza wajibu wa yale majukumu ambayo tumewapatia. Bwana Spika, tukiwa hapa hivi sasa na kwamba tumeweza kuwachagua hawa maseneta ambao watakuwa katika hizi kamati, Bwana Spika, si kazi rahisi. Mara nyingi tunaona ya kwamba kamati nyingi kama wakati ule mwingine tuliokuwa nao hazikuweza pengine kuendelea na mkutano kwa sababu maseneta wengine wamekuwa wamekosekana. Si kazi rahisi pia kuweza kujua maseneta wako na majukumu mengi katika zile nyadhifa wanazotoka, katika yale makaunti wanayotoka. Na katika hizo kazi zote ambazo wanazifanya ni kazi muhimu kwa taifa la Kenya. Lakini Bwana Spika, ni kwamba tumekuwa na upungufu saa nyingine ya kuwa na maseneta wanaokamilika ili kuweza kuendesha ule mkutano. Nataka tu kusema ya kwamba safari hii na mhula huu tuna hakika ya kwamba hawa tuliowachagua kutakuwa na mageuzi fulani na watafanya vilivyo ambavyo vinatakana kufanyika, kuona ya kwamba hizi kamati zitakuwa zinatenda wajibu wao. Bwana Spika, la mwisho tu mimi nataka kuwatakia kila laheri nikiunga mkono hii list ya hawa wote tuliowaweka hapa. na kuweza kusecond hii ni kwamba nawatakia kila laheri katika haya majukumu. Si majukumu rahisi, lakini wananchi katika Kenya popote walipo wanaangalia kuona ya kwamba je, bunge la Senate safari hii litatekeleza wajibu wake, na niko na imani na nyinyi nyote maseneta mlioko hapa, kwa upande wa walio wengi na kwa upande wa walio wachache, sote tukishirikiana, nina imani ya kwamba tutaleta ile sifa yetu ambayo tunajulikana ya kwamba bunge la Senate ni bunge linaweza kutangaza, linaweza kukata kesi, linaweza kufanya kazi yake kisawasawa katika kamati zote za ndani zilizo ndani ya Senate na kuona haki imetendeka kwa Wakenya wote. Asante Bwana Spika. Naunga mkono.
Now, honorable senators, I now propose the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th of October 2022 constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to standing orders 199 and 228 and the fourth schedule to the standing orders to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in standing committees of the Senate as follows. Under the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Senator David Wakoli MP, Senator Alexander Mundigi MP, Senator Alan Chesang MP, Senator, take your seat, Senator Lelengwe. Take your seat. I will proceed. Senator Wahome Wamatinga MP, Senator Mohamed Abbas Sheikh MP, Senator Moses Kajwang MP, Senator Hezena Lemaletian MP, Senator Catherine Muma MP, and Senator Professor Tom Ojienda MP. Under Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations, Senator Mohamed Abbas Sheikh, Senator Paris Tobiko, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, Senator Mohamed Chute, Senator Karungu Thangwa, Senator Catherine Muma, Senator Richard Onyonka, Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga, and Senator Hezena Lemaletian. Under the Education Committee, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, Senator Seki Lengu Olekanar, Senator James Kamau Murango, Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Senator John Methu MP, Senator Catherine Muma, Senator John Sumaruma, Senator Betty Montet, and Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudama. The Committee on Energy, the following: Senator William Kisang, Senator Danson Mungatana, Senator Veronica Maina, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale, Senator James Lomelen, Senator Ledama Olekina, Senator Edwin Sifuna, Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga, and Senator Beatrice Ogola. Committee on Finance and Budget, the following senators: Senator Ali Ibrahim Roba, Senator Tabitha Mutinda, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale, Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar, Senator Esther Okinyuri, Senator Eddie Okech, Senator Mohamed Mwinyihaji Faki, Senator Richard Onyonka, and Senator Shakila Abdallah. In the Committee of Health, Senator Jackson Mandago, Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar, Senator David Wakoli, Tabitha Mutinda, Senator Joseph Githuku, Senator Justice Retired Stewart Madzayo, Senator Ledama Olekina, Senator Richard Onyonka, and Senator Hamida Kibwana. Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Alan Chesang, Senator Miraj Abdillahi, Senator William Kisang, Senator Tabitha Keroche, Senator Samson Cherarkei, Senator Hezena Lemaletian, Senator Isa Jumaboy, Senator Shakila Abdallah, Senator Beatrice Ogola. Under the Committee Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, Senator Raphael Chimera, Senator Karen Nyamu, Senator Veronica Maina, Senator William Cheptumo, Senator Okia Omtata, Senator Professor Tom Ojienda, Senator Crystal Asige, and Senator Daniel Maanzo. Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, Senator Julius Murgor, Senator Lenku Seki Olekanar, Senator Gloria Orwoba, Senator Alex Mundigi, Senator Miraj Abdillahi, Senator Justice Retired Stewart Madzayo, Senator Okongo Omogeni, Senator Crystal Asige, and Senator Beth Sienko. Under the Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources, Senator Dr. Lelengwe Lutumbesi, Senator William Cheptumo, Senator Joe Nyutu, Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar, Senator James Murango, Mohammed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Senator Beatrice Ogola, Senator Abdul Haji, and Senator Jones Maruma. Under the Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration, Senator Mohammed Chute, Senator Joyce Korir, Senator Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Senator Gloria Orwoba, Senator James Lomenen, Senator Daniel Manzo, Senator Okia Omtata, Senator Beth Siongo, and Senator Betty Monted. Under the Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations, Senator Adan Fatuma Dulo, Senator Karen Nyamu, Senator Julius Mulgor, Senator Tabitha Keroche, Senator Joseph Githuku, Senator Edwin Sifuna, Senator Abdul Haji, Senator Professor Tom Ojienda, and Senator Okongo Omogeni, Senior Counsel. Committee on Transport, Roads, and Housing, Senator John Nderitu Kinywa, Senator Peris Tobiko, Senator Mohammed Chute, Senator Dr. Lelengwe Litumbesi, Senator Miraj Abdillahi, Senator Enoch Wambua, Senator Eddie Okech, Senator Moses Kajwang, and Senator Crystal Asige. Committee on Trade, Industrialization, and Tourism, Senator Esther Okinyuri, Senator Jackson Mandago, Senator John Methu, Senator Karungo Thangwa, Senator George Mbugwa, Senator Geoffrey Osotsi, Senator Boy Isa Juma, Senator Hamida Kibwana, and Senator Okia Omtata. Now, honorable members, I'm noticing that there are members who are keen on contributing to this particular motion. Let us, very well, by consensus, we put the question. Thank you, honorable members. Now, having agreed with the members, I now proceed to put the question that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 13th October 2022 constituting select committees, the Senate resolves pursuant to Standing Orders 199 and 228 and the fourth schedule to the Standing Orders to approve the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. A. Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries, Senator David Wakoli, Alex Mundigi, Alan Tesang, Wahome Wamatinga, Mohamed Abbas Sheikh, Moses Kajwang, Hesena Lemaletian, Catherine Muma, and Senator Professor Tom Ojienda. B. Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations, Senator Mohamed Abbas Sheikh, Senator Peris Tobiko, Professor Margaret Kamar, Mohamed Chute, Karungo Thangwa, Catherine Muma, Richard Onyonka, Dr. Oburu Oginga, and Hezena Lemaletian. C. Education, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, Seki Lengu Olekanar, James Kamau Murango, Nderitu John Kinywa, John Methu, Catherine Muma, Jones Maruma, Betty Montet, and Agnes Kavindu Mudama. D. Energy, Senator William Kisang, Danson Mungatana, Veronica Maina, Dr. Boni Halwale, James Lomenen, Ledama Olekina, Edwin Sifuna, Dr. Oburu Oginga, and Beatrice Ogola. E. Finance and Budget, Senator Ali Ibrahim Roba, Tabitha Mutinda, Dr. Boni Halwale, Mariam Sheikh Omar, Esther Okinyuri, Eddie Okech, Mohammed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Richard Onyonka, and Shakila Abdallah. F. Health, Senators Jackson Mandago, Mariam Sheikh Omar, David Wakoli, Tabitha Mutinda, Joseph Kithuku, Justice Retired Stewart Madzayo, Ledama Olekina, Richard Onyonka, and Hamida Kibwana. G. Information, Communication, and Technology, Senators Alan Tesang, Miraj Abdillahi, William Kisang, Tabitha Keroche, Samson Chirarkei, Hezena Lemaletian, Isa Boy Juma, Shakila Abdallah, and Beatrice Ogola. H. Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights, Senators Wakili Hilary Sigei, Raphael Chimera, Karen Nyamu, Veronica Maina, William Cheptumo, Okia Omtata, Professor Tom Ojienda, Crystal Asige, and Daniel Manzo. I. Labor and Social Welfare, Senators Julius Murgor, Lenku Seki Olekanar, Gloria Orwoba, Alexander Mundigi, Miraj Abdillahi, Justice Retired Stewart Mazayo, Okongo Omogeni, Senior Counsel, Crystal Asige, and Beth Siengo. J. Land, Environment, and Natural Resources, Senators Dr. Lelengwe Lutumbesi, William Cheptumo, Joe Nyutu, Mariam Sheikh Omar, James Murango, Mohammed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Beatrice Ogola, Abdul Haji, and Jones Maruma. K. National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration. Senators Mohammed Chute, Joyce Korir, Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Gloria Orwoba, James Lomenen, Daniel Manzo, Okia Omtata, Beth Siengo, and Betty Montet. L. National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations. Senators Adan Fatuma Dulo, Karen Nyamu, Julius Murgor, Tabitha Keroche, Joseph Kithuku, Edwin Sifuna, Abdul Haji, Professor Tom Ojenda, and Okongo Omogeni, Senior Counsel. M. Roads, Transport, and Housing. Senators John Nderitu Kinywa, Peris Tobiko, Mohammed Chute, Dr. Lelengwe Tumbesi, Miraj Abdillahi, Enoch Kwambua, Eddie Okech, Moses Kajwang, and Crystal Asige. And N. Trade, Industrialization, and Tourism. Senators Esther Okinyuri, Jackson Mandago, John Methu, Karungu Thangwa, George Mbugwa, Godfrey Osotsi, Juma Isa Juma Boy, Hamida Kibwana, and Okia Omtata. Now, honorable members, will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, call the next order, please.
Order number 11, motion, approval of senators to serve in the County Public Accounts Committee, County Public Investment and Special Funds Committee, and the Committee on Delegated Legislation.
Majority Leader, please proceed to move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the following motion, which is approval of the senators to serve in the County Public Accounts Committee, County Public Investments and Counties and Special Funds Committee, and the Committee on Delegated Legislation, that pursuant to Standing Orders number 193, 194, 195, and 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the select committees of the Senate as follows. A. County Public Accounts Committee, the following senators: Senator Samson Cherargei, Mwenda Gataya, Adan Dulo, Leleguel Tumbes, Moses Kajwang, Jones Mwaruma, Edwin Sifuna, Okongo Omogeni, and Enoch Kwambua. B. The County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, the following senators: Senator Peris Tobiko, Rafael Chimera, George Mbugwa, William Kisang, Godfrey Osotsi, Eddie Okech, Agnes Kavindu, Beth Siengo, and Hamida Kibwana. C. The Committee on Delegated Legislation, Senator Mwenda Gataya, Danson Mungatana, Gloria Orwoba, Joyce Korir, Julius Murgor, Mohammed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Betty Montet, Daniel Manzo, Isa Boy. Mr. Speaker, this one is extremely straightforward. It's our main oversight committees on matters fiscal responsibilities of various counties and overseeing the audit reports. The only challenge I want to give to the members that serve in this committee is that there is quite a huge backlog of reports that this House needs to consider. I want to plead that perhaps they guide the House on, we can dedicate even certain days of the week to purely consider the various reports that as a committee you have considered, especially on the recommendations that you'll be requesting of us as a House. We want to see more far-reaching recommendations on the conduct of our county governments, perhaps with special funds or even the shareable revenue. Any funds that are public money, so long as they haven't been put to good use, Madam Speaker, I want to challenge that perhaps this committee can guide us on how we can better hold our various county governments to account, Mr. Speaker, including sanctions against individuals that continue to perpetuate malfeasance of public funds in our various institutions. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I know that the men and women that have been granted the opportunity to serve in this committee will do an exemplary job and will lead its house in fulfilling its mandate. With those very many remarks, I beg to move and request the Senator for Kilifi and the leader of the minority, Senator Retired Justice Stewart Mazayo, to second. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Stewart Mazayo.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, nataka kuanza kuunga mkono wale wote waliochaguliwa hapa katika hizi kamati zote tatu. Kamati hizi tatu, Bwana Spika, ni nguzo ya Senate kwa sababu ni kamati ambazo ziko na majukumu ya hali ya juu, hususan mambo ya utekelezaji wa pesa, matumizi, na hatimaye pia vile vile kuchunguza kama zinatumika hizo pesa tunazopeleka katika mashinani zinatumika kwa hali ile inayotakikana. Kwa hiyo tukiwa tunajidai na hizi kamati ni kwamba tuko na imani ya kwamba zitatekeleza wajibu wake. Hawa waliochaguliwa hapa wote katika hizi kamati ni wakakamavu na niko na imani ya kwamba watatimiza vile ambavyo vinatakana kufanya, hususan kama matumizi ya pesa katika kaunti. Asante Bwana Spika, ninaunga mkono.
Now, having heard the second of the motion, I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order number 193, Standing Order 194, and Standing Order 195, as well as Standing Order 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in select committees of the Senate as follows. A, County Public Accounts Committee, Senator Samson Cherargei, Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Adan Dulo Fatuma, Dr. Lelengwe Lutumbesi, Moses Kajwang, Jones Maruma, Edwin Sifuna, Okongo Omogeni, and Enoch Wambua. Under B, County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, Senators Peris Tobiko, Rafael Chimera, George Mbugwa, William Kisang, Godfrey Osotsi, Eddie Okech, Agnes Kavindu, Beth Siengo, and Hamida Kibwana. Under C, Committee on Delegated Legislation, Senators Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Danson Mungatana, Gloria Orwoba, Joyce Korir, Julius Murgor, Mohamed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Betty Monted, Daniel Manso, and Boy Isa Juma. Honorable members, similarly, this is a motion that I can see there are members who have expressed interest to contribute, but being a procedural motion, prior to putting the question, honorable members, confirm the quorum. I will proceed to put the question that pursuant to Standing Orders number 193, 194, 195, and 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the select committees of the Senate as follows. A, County Public Accounts Committee, Senators Samson Cherargei, Senator Mwenda Gataya, Adan Dulo Fatuma, Dr. Lelengwe Lutumbesi, Moses Kajwang, Jones Maruma, Edwin Sifuna, Okongo Omogeni, and Enoch Wambua. Under B, County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, Senators Peris Tobiko, Rafael Chimera, George Mbugwa, William Kisang, Godfrey Osotsi, Eddie Okech, Agnes Kavindu, Beth Siengo, and Hamida Kibwana. C, Committee on Delegated Legislation, Senators Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Danson Mungatana, Gloria Orwoba, Joyce Korir, Julius Murgor, Mohamed Mwinyi Haji Faki, Betty Monted, Daniel Manzo, and Boy Isa Juma. Honorable members, having determined that this does not affect counties, I now proceed to ask the question. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Order, honorable members. We are rearranging the order paper so that we call out order number 22. Sorry, order number 14. Sorry, order number 14. Clerk, call out order number 14.
Order number 14, the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Esther Okinyuri, this is your bill. You may proceed to move. Senator Boni Halwale. Very well, Senator AC now may proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move that the County Civic Education Bill, that is Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, be read a second time. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2010 Constitution of Kenya ushered in a new era of devolution, granting significant powers and resources to our 47 county governments. However, devolution is not just about transferring power from the national government to counties. It's also about ensuring that every citizen understands their role in this new system of governance. And unfortunately, many of our people remain unaware of their rights, responsibilities, and the opportunities available under them under devolution. This gap in knowledge undermines the very essence of public participation, which is the cornerstone of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise today with great pride and deep sense of responsibility to move the County Civic Education Bill for consideration by this august House, because this bill, if passed, will not just be another piece of legislation, it will be a transformative tool that seeks to empower every Kenyan at the grassroots level by equipping them with knowledge and tools necessary to actively participate in governance. And that's why I say an informed citizenry is able to make decisions on their own choices and live on a daily basis. Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Civic Education Bill seeks to address this gap by establishing a framework for systematic and continuous civic education at the county level, and therefore this bill aims to do the following. One, to promote civic awareness. In this case, the bill seeks to educate citizens about their rights, responsibilities, and functions of county governments. Secondly, this bill also helps to enhance public participation, and it does this by empowering citizens to actively engage in decision-making processes such as budget formulation, development planning, and oversight. Thirdly, the bill seeks to strengthen devolution, and it will do this by fostering a deeper understanding of devolution and governance among citizens, ensuring that they can hold their leaders accountable and benefit from services provided by the county governments. And therefore, devolution, because devolution is still a relatively new concept for many Kenyans, and without proper education, its full potential cannot be realized. Fourthly, the bill seeks to combat misinformation. Mr. Speaker, sir, we live in an era which has currently been, there is a lot of misinformation happening, both on social media and on daily engagements on the ground. So therefore, with the right civic education being given to citizens, we'll be able to provide accurate and reliable information to counter false narratives and promote transparency in governance. This bill also seeks to promote inclusivity, and it does this by ensuring that marginalized groups, including women, youth, persons with disabilities, and minority communities are not left behind in civic education programs. These groups often face barriers to participation, and this bill will ensure that their voices are heard On this part, I would wish to also mention that I know the women representatives have a fund to promote civic education. I would like to also welcome them to support this proposal because already that is captured in their lines of funding. Mr. Speaker, sir, an informed citizenry is the foundation of any thriving democracy. When citizens understand rights and responsibilities, they are better equipped to hold their leaders accountable and therefore demand transparency and actively contribute to the development of their communities. And this bill is not just about education, it's also about empowerment. It's about giving every Kenyan from Turkana to Kwale, from Mombasa to Kisumu, the tools they need to be active participants of our democracy. And therefore, the bill proposes establishment of civic education units in every which is not a new phenomenon. The County Government Act of 2012 provides for this. And therefore, these units will be tasked with designing and implementing civic education programs tailored to unique needs of their communities. And these units will work closely with civil society organizations, religious institutions, and community leaders to ensure that civic education reaches every corner of our nation. The use of local languages and culturally appropriate methods to be emphasized to ensure that no one is left behind. Mr. Speaker, no one is left behind is one of the SDGs. We are approaching 2030. I hope we will live to the truth and letter of the one phrase, no one is left behind. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the bill mandates regular reporting and evaluation to ensure that these programs are effective and responsive to the needs of people. This is not just is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It is a dynamic, inclusive, and a framework that recognizes the diversity of our nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the passage of this bill is not just a legislative duty. It's a moral imperative. It's our responsibility as leaders to ensure that every Kenyan is empowered with the knowledge they need to fully participate in our democracy. I want to urge members that let us pass this bill and take a bold step towards building a more informed, engaged, empowered nation. Some may argue that civic education is already being conducted by various organizations nationally, and that this bill is a duplication or is unnecessary. However, the current efforts are always fragmented, unfunded, and inconsistent. We need civic education to be spearheaded by county governments, and that we actualized Part 10 of the County Government Act. This bill provides a structured and sustainable approach, ensuring that civic education is not just an afterthought, but a priority for every county government. And on this note, it's not just for county governments. I've on several occasions argued that we need to have the culture of patriotism, the culture of being informed right from the way we march to school. So this has to be incorporated in the education curriculum so that we are bringing up young boys and girls who are very aware of their responsibilities and contributions to our country. Others may actually question the cost of implementing this bill, Mr. Speaker. But let us ask ourselves, what is the cost of an informed citizenry? You saw the opportunity we missed of informing Kenyans about the finance bill. You saw the aftermath. So we would rather invest in having people informed than suffer the cost of this country burned into ashes, Mr. Speaker. What is the cost of poor governance, mismanagement of resources, and lack of accountability? Every now and then we are handling reports, different audit reports which have been submitted on spending from different county governments. We call county chiefs here, interrogate, but that is not enough. If we were electing people who are able to take responsibility for their actions, we would be having very few of such cases being listened to by the Senate. And therefore, The investment we are making in civic education today will yield dividends for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, this is very important, and I remember the first time I brought this as a statement to this House, there was tremendous support, and most senators actually argued that, why don't you come up with a legislative proposal? And that is the moment I went down and put pieces together and came up with this proposal. So it is in the same spirit that I hope senators in this House are going to prioritize and give total support to this, because it is going to cure so many ills we have in the different county governments, and we are going to bring up responsible citizens. So with this, I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I move. I will request the Kakamega Senator, the bullfighter, to second.
Senator Dr. Boni Halwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this very important bill as moved by Senator Ikanyuri. Mr. Speaker, a bill whose purpose is to establish a legal framework for the promotion of civic education in Kenya and make it, Mr. Speaker, an essential tool for building responsible citizenship. Responsible citizenship is a bill whose time is now. Members of the public would like to be consulted by their representatives when those representatives are making decisions on their behalf. But they don't want to take the responsibility of being prepared so as when now they meet their representatives, they can articulate issues within the framework of lawmaking. What do I mean, Mr. Speaker? I mean that, like, if you go to a place like Kakamega, the county assembly, yesterday, or I don't know, today or something, has made a decision that all public land held in Kakamega will move to leasehold. Essentially, Mr. Speaker, therefore, saying that people must pay rents. This was done, Mr. Speaker, without public participation. Why? Why would people of Mokolonya, Mr. Speaker, want to move from freehold to leasehold on ancestral property so as to attract payment of rents, of land rents? Why would the people of Mayakalo, why would the people of Butsotso from Shea Ward ever support this kind of thing? So had there been this wisdom as moved by Senator Okenyuri, where there is civic education, then the citizens of Kakamega would not only be given an opportunity, would not only have been given an opportunity, but, Mr. Speaker, would take responsibility by telling those MCAs, don't you dare. How do you ask people to pay rents? You're a lawyer on freehold land, just by dint of Governor Baraza signing that this land from today henceforth moves from freehold to leasehold. We need to be consulted. My roots, if the governor of Kakamega doesn't know, are in Bokolonya, where our ancestral land belonging to Muse Liuba Khalwal, the father of Ngosi Liuba, the father of Bukhala Liuba, the father of Shiamia Liuba. That land now, Baraza wants the children who are my cousins, now to start paying for this. We will not accept. And what a timely moment. I want to appeal to the people of Kakamega to take it easy. We are around. That misadventure will not take place, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I support this bill, I look at the provisions in Clause 5. Clause 5, Mr. Speaker, is the one that is making civic education mandatory. And it is saying public officials, including elected and appointed officials at national and county levels, shall undergo a mandatory civic education and training on their roles, responsibilities, and obligations as public servants. What a great provision. I mean, you go to Bomet, there at the hall. The great people of Jabalongo have been lifted to come. They want to participate in public participation in the social hall. Lunch is served, return ticket allowed. Then the good people, before they are given an opportunity, they are told to sign forms for allowances. And a few political statements are made by the governor here and there, and the people are told to go away. Little do they know that they were being invited for two critical things for whose civic education they have no idea. The first one, Mr. Speaker, was that they wanted to recover their signature so that that signature can be used for corruptly justifying an expenditure from the national, from the county government. It's happening in Bomet. It's happening in Kakamega. It's happening everywhere. I'm glad that the former governor of Washington is here. When I was chairman of public accounts, I never saw that kind of audit query against this guy, this senator, that you are hipping people and stealing money, getting their signature. I never saw it.
Dr. Boni Halwale, did you refer to the Honorable Senator Mandago as this guy?
I said, this great guy. You know, when you say great guy, it's not demeaning.
Notwithstanding the fact that the Honorable Senator Mandago has not raised a concern,
Mr. Speaker,
the chair had
I thank you. I know it is debatable, but since the senator is not shooting on a point of order, he loves being called a great guy. He's an admirer of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would call you, you're a great guy, meaning that you really impress him. Mr. Speaker, this is the route we are walking. I go to the countryside and I see people in yellow buses being taken to the county headquarters. And you ask, who are these people? They tell you they are being dropped for public participation at the headquarters. Or it is being done at the Isolio grounds in Shinyalu. Or it is being done at Lumaganda grounds in Lugari. Or it is being done in Nangiri in Likuyani constituency. And when the people go there, the guy coming to invite them for public participation, Mr. Speaker, is himself one of the busybodies around the governor. You hear what they are saying, and you cannot believe it. And at the very worst, Mr. Speaker, in some of the cases, you'll find that people have been brought in Kericho from Anapkoi to come and do public participation, or the county government has gone to Anapkoi. When they go there, the people who make contributions are the people from the governor's office. These ones were just supposed to do a make-believe. I really support this provision. Mr. Speaker, the provision in Clause 8 on the functions of the unit, which are tabulated here, are truly innovative, and I support because they form the basis for realizing the reason why many bills in this House, in the National Assembly, have been challenged in court once they've been signed into law, because the reason has always been there was no public participation. Mr. Speaker, this provision in Clause 8 is the backbone to public participation in law making. Mr. Speaker, which takes me to Clause 9. Clause 9, Mr. Speaker, is the question of funding of civic education. It provides that a county government shall ensure that part of the county government's annual budget is allocated towards funding of civic education activities in the county. This is critical because, Mr. Speaker, it is going to stop the millions of shillings that would otherwise go to development in counties that is lost through public participation that is currently in vogue. I therefore hope that as we pass this into law, that the regulations that will accompany this new act will dissect it further so that we provide that for this kind of activity, this much in quantum terms should be spent, and so on and so forth. Mr. Speaker, having said that, there is a point which I cannot end without speaking to, the issue of corruption. Mr. Speaker, the corruption that I am having on mind is that in the absence of this provision, as I've said earlier on, there's a lot of wastage where public funds are corruptly assumed to have been given to people who participated in civic education seminar and so on, when actually it is not the case. This Senate, because now we are on the home stretch of the 13th Parliament, we must keenly listen to what the accountability institutions are saying. Mr. Speaker, it's only recently that a report from the Ethics and Corruption Commission reported that the rate of corruption is so high in the counties that, Mr. Speaker, up to 16 billion shillings, 16 billion shillings was lost on ghost workers. And the report goes further, Mr. Speaker, to shame those counties where the rate is highest at 100%. And in this list of shame of the counties with 100% rate of corruption are the following counties. Leading the counties of list of shame is Nyamira County, followed by Baringo County, followed by Kakamega County, Siaya County, Bungoma County, Turkana County, West Pokot, Samburu, Nandi, and Kisumu. I don't know what happened in my community, Mr. Speaker. This is not a tribal statement. We all belong to some communities. I don't know what happened. I don't know where Masinde Muliro is, whether sometimes his bones turn in the grave or he wakes up and weeps. I don't know whether Martin Shukuku does the same. I don't know whether Michael Kijana Wamalwa, George Welime Captain, whether they turn for this kind of rubbish that in this short list of shame, our two major counties, the biggest Kakamega, followed by the second biggest Bungoma, are making the list of counties with 100% rate of corruption. I'm appealing to our governors. This is not an insult. Go and think about this. This vanity. Where do you want to go with 1 billion shillings of public funds, Mr. Speaker? If you are a useful professional, did you know that if I give you public funds worth 1 billion at your disposal, as out of pocket. You cannot spend it. What will you spend it on? You have nothing to spend on 1 billion shillings. I tell you, I know these things. One of the best houses here you can get in Karen or Runda or what have you. You go there with 100 million, you get a very good home. You still have 900 million. Since you people are practicing family planning, you have 2 children, you need a maximum of 4 million shillings for a child to complete education in a university in the UK. So, 4 million, you'll have educated your family up to university level. At the university. So, you still have not scratched the 1 billion. Mr. Speaker, I hope I'm not going out of order. When I see the Speaker control the standing orders, I get scared. Mr. Speaker.
I wanted to direct you to align your support to the relevance of the bill, which you're doing very well.
Yes,
but
corruption.
Stick to the relevance on the public participation aspect.
Mr. Speaker,
bill which
you know, we are dissecting this vanity of people wanting to die millionaires or billionaires. You ask young clerk at the desk, Daniel, you give him a good car. If you give him a state-of-the-art car, he wants to buy it at 50 million shillings, new model of Range Rover Rogue. At 50 million, he'll have gotten the best car in the world. You haven't finished even 200 million. So what is this vanity? Why can't they be like the distinguished senator, now formerly the governor of Washington? He lives a very happy life. Others who are even haunted out of office, Mr. Speaker, for theft, for the money they had stolen when they were governors, I still see them with 6-7 cars convoy escorted because they're scared of the money they stole from people. But Mandago, the only thing he doesn't do is to take a beer. If he was taking a beer in the evening, he would relax, calm, and a very contented person, but he's drunk with tea, so let him continue with his tea. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I second this bill as moved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale. Now, honorable members, that bill having been seconded, I have got honorable members, that bill having been seconded, I noticed there are quite a number of members who are willing to speak to the bill. Before I allow them to comment, I now propose the question that the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, be now read the second time. I will start with Senator from Mombasa, Senator Mwinyi Mohamed Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia mswada wa elimu ya uraia ambao umeletwa katika bunge na Seneta Okinyuri. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kumpongeza Seneta Okinyuri kwa mswada huu kwa sababu ni mswada ambao una mambo mengi mazuri ambayo yatasaidia nchi yetu katika kuelimisha raia kuhusiana na haki zao na vile vile pia mambo ya kiserikali na majukumu ya viongozi ambao wanawachagua kila baada ya miaka 5. Mheshimiwa Spika, katiba mpya ilipokuja mwaka 2010 ilikuwa ni matarajio ya wengi kuwa serikali itaanzisha elimu ya uraia, hususan kuelimisha wananchi juu ya haki zao kikatiba na vile vile pia mambo mengi ambayo mapya yalikuwa yako katika katiba hii yetu. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, ni masikitiko kwamba haikuweza kufanya hivyo serikali. Na nafikiri hii imefanywa kusudi ili kuendelea kuwapoteza raia kuhusiana na haki zao ambazo wako nazo. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa mfano, mambo mengi ya elimu ya uraia yalikuwa yanadhaminiwa na mashirika ya kibinafsi na mashirika yasiyokuwa ya kiserikali, yani civil society. Na japokuwa Mheshimiwa Spika, katiba ilipopitishwa ilikuwa ni matarajio wengi kwa wananchi wataelimishwa juu ya katiba hii na yale mambo ambayo na zile sheria mpya ambazo zimekuja. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo haikutendeka. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, sasa kwa mfano tuna ugatuzi, lakini bado hatujajua haki zetu kikamilifu kama raia juu ya masuala ya ugatuzi. Kwa mfano Mheshimiwa Spika, tuna serikali ya county na kuna bunge la county, lakini mara nyingi utapata kwamba wale wa bunge la county, Mheshimiwa Spika, wanajiona, na hata kama hapa pia bunge la kitaifa, wanajiona wao ni pamoja na serikali ya county ile, wakati majukumu ya serikali na majukumu ya bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika, yamewekwa mbali na bayana kabisa, kwamba majukumu ya bunge kwa mfano ni kutunga sheria, kuangalia ama uangalizi, yani oversight, na uwakilishi wa watu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini utapata katika kaunti zetu nyingi, Mheshimiwa Spika, wabunge wa bunge la kaunti, Mheshimiwa Spika, wao ndio wako mstari wa mbele support ama kuunga mkono yale mambo ambayo yanafanywa na zile serikali za kaunti ambao ni kinyume na sheria. Mheshimiwa Spika, utapata Mheshimiwa Spika, mbunge wa bunge la kaunti ameongoza watu kwenda kutoa maoni katika zile vikao vya elimu ama vikao vya uhusishaji raia, yani public participation, kuunga mkono swala ambalo yeye mwenyewe kiakilini mwake hajalielewa. Mheshimiwa Spika, utapata kwamba vikao vingi vya uhusishaji umma, Mheshimiwa Spika, vinafanywa bila ya kuwaandaa kikamilifu wananchi katika sehemu zile. Utapata kama kwa mfano Mombasa, mkutano ni leo, jana jioni ndio wanatuma vile makaratasi ama yale mambo ambayo yatajadiliwa katika mikutano ile. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo inafanya kwa raia hawana mchango wowote wa kuweza kutoa wakati mambo kama haya yanajadiliwa, na mara nyingi wakiulizwa wanasema tumepitisha ama tumekubali na mambo yanakwisha. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mswada huu utatoa mfumo, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao kwanza utawawezesha wananchi kusoma katiba yao mara kwa mara. Vile vile utawapa nafasi wananchi, Mheshimiwa Spika, kujua haki zao katika serikali zao za county na vile vile pia serikali kuu ya kitaifa. Mheshimiwa Spika, pia mswada huu una lengo la kuwezesha kubadilisha mfumo wetu wa siasa, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, wananchi watakuwa wanajua ni sababu gani tunachagua viongozi na vipi majukumu ya viongozi wale. Mheshimiwa Spika, pia vile vile mswada huu utasaidia raia kuweza kujua haki zao kikamilifu. Tukiangalia Mheshimiwa Spika, katiba yetu ina haki karibu 51. Kuna haki karibu 51 hapa, ukiangalia kutoka kifungu cha 19 kinachozungumzia haki mpaka kifungu cha 51, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambazo zote hizi ni haki ambazo wananchi wanatakana waziweze kuzijua na kuweza kuzifuatilia. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sasa wengi watakwambia haki ambao nilionao mimi ni haki ya kuishi, haki ya elimu kwa mfano, na haki ya kujieleza, freedom of expression, na zile nyingine zote Mheshimiwa Spika 51 ama 48 wananchi hawezi kujijua. Kwa mfano Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sasa kuna vitu vingi ambavyo vinauziwa wananchi wetu, lakini hawajui vipi wataweza kujitetea haki zao, kwa mfano kama vile vyombo ama vile vitu ambavyo wananunua vina madhara ya kibinadamu. Mheshimiwa Spika, vile vile pia itasaidia wananchi kutaka huduma njema zaidi ama huduma nzuri zaidi kutoka kwa viongozi, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, ukishajua haki yako utaweza kujua ni njia gani ambazo mimi nitafuatilia haki zile hizi ziweze kutekelezwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, vile vile sheria hii itawapa majukumu serikali za kaunti na pia serikali ya kitaifa kuweza kufanya mikakati ya kuweza kuelimisha raia. Kwa sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, hakuna mikakati yoyote ambayo serikali imeweka kuweza kuelimisha raia kuhusiana na mambo ambayo yanatendeka katika serikali na vile vile mambo ambayo yanatendeka katika nchi yetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, jukumu hili pia litatokea kwa kila kiongozi ambaye atachaguliwa wa kitaifa na vile vile pia wa kikaunti. Watakuwa na jukumu la kufanya elimu ya uraia, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuhusiana na majukumu yao na mambo mengine yao inayohusu kama wafanyikazi wa serikali. Hichi ni katika kifungu cha 5, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambacho ni muhimu sana, kwa sababu hata hivi sasa ukiangalia, Mheshimiwa Spika, wengi hata sisi wabunge na maseneta, wengi wetu hawajui majukumu yao. Mheshimiwa Spika, utapata gavana anakwenda katika hafla akiandamana na wabunge wote wa bunge la kaunti, na ukiangalia yale ambao anakwenda kufanya pale, Mheshimiwa Spika, hayahusiani kabisa na majukumu yao wale wabunge wa kaunti, au vile vile wabunge wa kaunti wanashindwa kuuliza maswali kwa gavana kuhusiana na vile kazi ambazo wanatakana wafanyiwe na serikali ya kaunti. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hii itatoa fursa nzuri ya kuweza kuelimisha viongozi wanapochaguliwa, Mheshimiwa Spika, ili wasifuje mali ya umma kama inavyoendelea kwa sasa katika nchi yetu. Vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, hii itawapa nafasi nzuri ya kuweza kuwapima kama wanafanya kazi zao kisawasawa au hawafanyi kazi zao kisawasawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, zile vikundi ambavyo vitakuwa vifanya majukumu yao, Mheshimiwa Spika, pia vimezungumziwa katika kifungu cha 8, kifungu cha 7 na cha 8. Mheshimiwa Spika, kifungu cha 9 kinasema kwamba ni jukumu la serikali ya kaunti kutenga kiwango fulani cha bajeti yake kila mwaka ili kufanikisha hii elimu ya uraia, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, jukumu hili pia lazima liweke katika bajeti ya serikali kuu. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeambiwa leo jana kwamba bajeti ya mwaka ujao itakuwa ni trilioni 4.2. Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima kuwe na kiwango fulani ambacho kimetengwa katika bajeti hiyo ili kuhakikisha kuwa wananchi wanapata elimu ya uraia kuhusiana na majukumu yao na haki zao katika serikali yetu ya Kenya. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona pia kwamba serikali kuu itakuwa na nafasi ya kutoa zile tunaita conditional grants kwa serikali za kaunti ili ziweze kukuza vipaji ama uwezo wa serikali zetu za kaunti kuweza kufanya hii elimu ya uraia. Mheshimiwa Spika, pia kuna kuandikishwa kwa wale ambao watakuwa wakitoa elimu hii ili elimu yenyewe iwe ni yenye kujulikana na vile vile pia iweze kusaidia, sio elimu ambayo inatolewa bila ya mpango wote. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hakika mswada huu, Mheshimiwa Spika, utasaidia pakubwa kujenga ugatuzi na vile vile pia kujenga elimu katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Mheshimiwa Spika, naona pia kutakuwa na nafasi ya waziri kutengeneza sheria andamizi ili kuhakikisha kwamba haya ambayo yamezungumziwa katika mswada huu yanatekelezwa kikamilifu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono mswada huu kwa vile utakuwa ni wa manufaa makubwa na utasababisha kwamba wananchi waelewe zaidi katiba yetu na hata zile sheria ambazo zinatungwa na zitawezesha pia kama wakati wameitishwa katika kuhusishwa katika utungaji wa sheria ama mjadala wa bajeti ama mjadala wote mwingine, wataweza kupata fursa nzuri, Mheshimiwa Spika, kutokana na ile elimu ambayo watakuwa wamepata kuweza kuchangia miswada naweza kuchangia mambo ambayo yanawakabili katika maisha yao. Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono na asante kwa fursa hii.
Thank you, Senator Faki. Senator Omar Sheikh Mariam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I appreciate the senator. I support to contribute to the bill, which is introduced by Senator Esi, County Civil Education Bill. Mr. Speaker, civil education is the fundamental aspect of fostering the informed and engaged citizens. Mr. Speaker, this civil education normally shape the society, understand their rights and the fundamental responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, this civil education bill will also citizens to participate in citizen in governance and to know their fundamental right. Mr. Speaker, this bill, there is section part 2, section 4. This is national and the county governments shall provide the civil education by. This is collaboration between content of the carrier of the civil education, taking into account the provision of the Article 33 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, this also facilitates the establish the channels and the forum of the education, the civil education. Mr. Speaker, when we educate our civil citizens on these civil educations, we, when it comes to specifically the budget making, they know their rights. Currently, what's happening in the county issues is something we cannot explain, because most of the projects is abandoned or installed because of public participations. That is, you are not engaging the correct people for the projects to be implemented. Mr. Speaker, if we pass this bill, we educate our citizens, our voters, their rights. The right in the budget, the right in their projects implementations, the right in oversight. Oversight is not only for senators to do it, is the citizen also to do it. When the budget, we pass the budget, county budget from here, but it's citizens there also to account. Transparency and accountability also depend on the citizens. Mr. Speaker, why are we in 47 county? We are mess because our citizens are, our voters, our citizens are not educated well. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to this budget issue, the county normally call individual people to tell them to pass the budget. But now, in 90% of the county people, citizens are not involved, those educated ones. So for formality, they are doing it when, because there is no civil education on the participants, on the participations of the governance and accountabilities of this. Mr. Speaker, the section number 3, part 3, the county civil education units, this establishing the county civil education units, Mr. Speaker, is needed. Because if we make these civil education units, these function units should be developed and comprehensive civil education plan for the counties in collaboration with the relevant stakeholders and outlining the goal and the objectives of the strategy and the activities of promoting the civil education and civil engagement by the citizens. Mr. Speaker, this civil education in the county sides, also they monitor and evaluate the process and the impact of the civil education program in the county unit. In the county, and provide a regular report on the county executive committee members and the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, in section number 9 also is the funding of the civil education. Mr. Speaker, when you are saying we constitute these civil units, who's supposed to fund it is the question. That's why in section 9, part 1, there is county government shall, that is a must, ensure that part of the county government annual budget is allocated toward the funding of the civil activities in the county. This provision, Mr. Speaker, we have to be reinforced, because if you said the county government annual budget to be allocated to civil education activities, it means that it is open and county government can engage any person to do this civil education. Mr. Speaker, in that scenario, there is part 3, which county executive provider. So it means that if we have allocated the money, we're supposed to also highlight and identify those people who do the civil education. Mr. Speaker, in that scenario, section 11 of the part 3, that is, the unit should be responsible for registration of the non-governmental organization and other non-state actors providing civil education in the county as a civil education provide under this article. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to this section 2 also, the registration as a county civil provider, there is a restrictions for these providers in the bill. It is not open, it's not a blanket for any person can train. In that one, there is a restriction which I glanced that the proposal registration office entitled a place of incorporates and registration. Mr. Speaker, in detail, the description describe the civil education program offered. They must have the prescribed program for this civil education. Mr. Speaker, in section 3, in part 3 also, this is consideration of the applications of registration. Mr. Speaker, in these units, the section shall, the unit shall within 60 days upon receiving of the application under section 10, consider the application toward with required document. There must be a requirement document conducting due diligence and on applicant. Mr. Speaker, with these registrations and upcoming with the units, there must be also unit must be, as you register, there must be also the registration. Because when you register, there must be other, maybe some cartels who don't normally do the required work. There must be also the registration for the units, stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, civil education is very important, and this framework for the promotion of civil education in Kenya as essential tools for building responsible citizens and civil education, civil engagement, and democratic values among the citizens. Mr. Speaker, if we pass this bill, our youth will know their rights. They do the oversight themselves. They do transparency and accountability for each of the leaders, especially for the county issues, because, Mr. Speaker, we are wiring a lot of money to the counties, and the county people, they are misusing the money in not giving an engagement to the to the citizens. That's why, as I earlier said, there is stall projects, and also during transitions, most of the county government decide to abandon the county project which has been started by other governor, but proceed to start another one by the new governor. Mr. Speaker, all this is because of not engaging the citizens. if we create a responsible citizen to know their rights and fundamental rights, the governance and accountability, Mr. Speaker, we are among the developed countries. Mr. Speaker, with all those remarks, I support the bill.
Honorable members, there being no other member who is seeking to contribute to this bill, I'll call upon Senator Mulgore. I can't see your name in the dashboard. Very well. In the next, proceed to have your contribution, or allow Senator Mulgore to proceed, Clerk.
Well, my light is on. I don't know why it doesn't show on your side. Thank you very much anyway for allowing me to also make my contributions on this very essential bill in as far as county education is concerned. And I thank I thank Okinyuri for this very important bill for the counties. This bill, in as far as my understanding is concerned, is seeking to equip the citizens or the county members and village members and members of wherever there is a meeting or participatory gathering with information, to empower them so that they have information about their right and on whatever belongs to them, to know that this is theirs and therefore they are the ones that have a right over it, and nobody else can.
Senator Mulgore, when the House resumes, you will have your 19 minutes to continue submitting to the bill when the House resumes. Now, Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, 13th of February, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.
Now, the more than 12.5 billion shillings embezzled in Cusco